Hey Cancer, hope you guys had a good weekend. This read is for you guys. Let's see what the universe has to say to you guys today. What advice she's got. What direction. Maybe some insight. Maybe even some warnings. Universe, what do you got to say to Cancer today? This one looks like it wants to come out, and then I think we'll get started. So we have harmony. Ooh. We have moving on. Shadow. Movements, choices, decisions. And stand your ground. So I believe in this read, from what I can see so far, that we're going to be speaking towards a romantic relationship. I'm going to keep pulling cards so I can build on the story here. So I got sacrifice, I got prosperity begins, I have light, I have patience, and I have temptation. So to me, what I'm getting from these cards, because I don't get, I'll show you the harmony card. So this is why I believe we're speaking of a romantic relationship. And I know there was the moving on card, but I don't feel like this is a relationship that's ending from what I can see. I feel like the moving on is I feel like what it's related to are maybe some issues that you guys have been having in the past. I feel like the stand your ground card is speaking towards your choice of being more assertive in this relationship about what you want and what you need. Maybe this person it wasn't that they were neglecting you. It's just that life got busy and you kind of felt like you got put on the back burner, because sometimes it does happen, you know, life can get crazy, things, you know, bills got to get paid, everybody's got to work. So I don't feel like it was any kind of an intentional anything from the feel of what I get of the cards. I get a very loving feel from these cards. But I feel like you felt that maybe you were kind of getting the short end of the stick, maybe a little bit left behind. But you chose to speak up and communicate it. And I feel like that turned this whole situation around by being able to do that. I feel like it made you guys closer as a couple. I feel like the patience speaks to I feel like it speaks to you being patient, that this change might not come overnight, that there might come situations where you feel like this person is being pulled in another direction a little bit more again. But I also feel that it speaks of you just keeping the lines of communication open and letting them know when you're feeling that way again. Because the temptation card to me represents the temptation of being pulled into back into those old habits. And so I think that's where it ties in as well, is that there might be a little slip here and there, but as long as you keep those lines of communication open, I think you're going to be able to keep a harmony and a balance in your relationship. And you'll be able to move past this rough stuff, because I feel like you guys have been able to sit down and talk it out as a couple and really reason it out. And that's where I feel like this prosperity begins card comes in. This is why I get that feeling. See the two hands, they're lovingly overlapping each other. That's what I feel like the communication has done for your relationship. I feel like it's brought you guys closer together. I have the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands tends to represent perseverance in a situation, something taking a while. You're sort of slugging away at it for a while and sort of feeling worn out. And I think that's part of what it was as well, is that it had been slowly building over time. It just took you a while to find your voice to say it. I have the Ace of Pentacles, which speaks of a new beginning, and the Two of Wands, which tends to represent it represents two different things, either a partnership or choosing a path. And I think in this case, it actually speaks to both of those things. Choosing a new path within your partnership. I have the Devil card here. And he usually represents a person who's very manipulative and destructive, but I don't get that feel from it. In this, I get the feeling that he's more of a warning to not allow yourself to slip, for the other person to not allow themselves to slip, and have those scales tipped again, so that the partnership, the romance, I don't know, I don't really want to say marriage, because I don't know if it's a marriage, but this union that you guys have sort of winds up being lower than the work life, because I feel like that's what did happen, and now that we've got the scales back, I feel like the Devil card is warning of letting it slip back into an unbalance again. I have the Moon as well, and the Moon tends to speak of things you haven't discovered yet. To me, in this read, it speaks of, as you guys keep making your journey forward, you'll find new issues along the way that you're going to have to keep working through. And I think to me it really speaks of building on this change that you've already made to be more assertive, to be more vocal, for you guys to be able to talk things out. So as more things come up in your relationship, in your lives, just to keep going the way you're going and build on that positive forward progress, so that your relationship can just keep growing and deepening over time. I have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, I have a couple ones here, so this is where I'm going to start. I have the Five of Pentacles, and you can see from the card, I mean, they look pretty broke, right? So they look like they're in a rough spot financially. So I almost wonder if what caused some of the rift was this other person sort of doubling their efforts. That's what I'm feeling like. This other person was doubling their efforts to try and get you guys ahead financially. And so I believe that that's where this Ace of Pentacles comes in as well. I believe that it speaks of that hard work starting to pay off, of a new beginning financially. The Three of Pentacles also speaks to that as well, something that you've been working for a long time, finally starting to come to fruition. You're seeing manifestations of this, as well as the Knight of Pentacles, something that you've been working for a long time. So I can see how that would definitely add strain to a relationship and to a situation, but I believe all the work that had been put in, I believe that you're going to start seeing the payoff from that, because I also have the Seven of Pentacles, and she speaks of abundance, and sometimes when I look at her in a read, I'll see like emotion or happiness, and so it speaks of abundance in a different way, but in this one I look at her and I see the word money. So I feel like all this hard work that was put in, all this sacrifice, because I think your partner probably did sacrifice a lot of time with you to try to put in at this job, and maybe you did as well, and you were both sacrificing the time together. But I feel like all that sacrifice is going to pay off now. I feel like you guys are going to be in a much better spot, and in the very near future, this is going to change. I have the Eight of Cups, which tends to represent starting out on a new journey, leaving old hurts behind. So I believe that speaks of the change that you've made in your relationship. I don't think that relates to the money. I think that relates to you guys emotionally, personally, and your relationship deepening and changing. I have the Five of Swords, and Five of Swords, it tends to speak of victory at the cost of others. You can see how he's victorious and everyone around him is not so much. I almost feel like this ties in with the Sacrifice card, that to be able to get this victory, some other things had to get sacrificed. I believe your time together, right? I believe it hurt the relationship. The Nine of Swords to me also speaks of it. To me, it speaks of a warning of not being able to move past these things and maybe bringing them back up. I don't think that would be healthy for your relationship. Definitely, if you guys have done the work to talk things out and negotiate a way past it, let it be. Don't let it resurface again. It's been dealt with. Move on. I have the High Priestess here, and she tends to speak of things that you haven't seen yet coming to light, but in a positive way. So I almost wonder if that doesn't speak of this financial situation and the good things that are coming your way and the payoffs, and you'll start to see it in the future. I have the Magician. The Magician tends to represent you having all the tools that you need to do your job, or to get the job done, or to be successful. And I feel like that really speaks to this relationship, and you being able to stand up, you guys being able to talk about things openly, honestly, and negotiate a way of being where everybody gets what they need. And I believe that it made you guys stronger for it. So I think that that's what the Magician is speaking to. I have the Six of Wands, which represents triumph. The Six of Swords, which represents moving from sort of a rockier time into a smoother one. And I think in this read, this speaks, I think it has a dual meaning. It speaks to me of your financial situation, but also your relationship as well. So I think in all aspects of your life, things are going to be looking up. Things are going to be happier, more rewarding. Things are going to go smoother. I have the Eight of Wands, which in this, I see the word communication when I look at it. And I think it's just about keeping those lines of communication open. So I have memories of love, obstacles and challenges, trapped in fear, and passion ignited. So this is what I feel from these cards, that there are still going to be obstacles and challenges that you guys are going to have to face. I think the trapped in fear warns of you guys not working together as a team and communicating, so that people feel isolated and they feel stuck. The memories of love, to me, that speaks of you guys being able to rely on each other, to remember that you love each other, you have each other's backs. And the passion ignited, again, speaks of how being able to do that, being able to come together as a team and work as a team, is just going to make your love and your relationship just so much deeper. And it's going to make both of you stronger, not just like the relationship stronger, but stronger as people as well, knowing that you have that kind of love and support in your life. Alrighty guys, I hope you found that helpful. Please feel free to comment. I would love to hear what you guys have to say, and have a good rest of your Monday. Take care.